And then it also just Kindred as a champion.
Let's hop into the rift for game number 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Game number 2 already here on the cards. Hama Life. Pretty... It wasn't one-sided, but once they got going, it was one-sided. Like, the entire game wasn't one-sided, but it definitely felt like a solid victory for Hama Life Esports after the first 15 minutes. Once they took that first team fight, it kind of felt over from there. They snowballed very well. Let's see what this game looks like. They can pull off the same.
Should be able to get the ward, which is nice.
Nope.
Oh, never mind. Just not in time. I feel like if Zeus stuck around, they could have. Not going to be the case. So Peanut will be tracked here early on. We have double barrier for the AD carries. Both trying to be as respectful as possible. No electrocute proc there for Zeka, it looks like, which Zeke's going to be happy about. And the gold lead was in favor of Faker, and I think in early to mid game he did also have mostly of lane prio, but even then going things like an unforced error that got the flash out of him early on, and the complete lack of impact to Victor. When part of that was the gold lead, part of that was the build. Didn't really feel like he could contribute a lot. And the Galio, I do think it's a lot easier to have that impact as we have the level 1 terror of Alistair. Was knocking the light away. Been seeing this a lot more recently as both these AD carries have a single thing on their mind, and that's stacks. That's all they care about. And the sustain is obviously going to be favored towards the Senna, but Viper is going to rapidly accelerate once he hits the certain breakpoints. I haven't seen Smolder in a while. You know,
Scalesing.
That's yeah, he's really on multiple levels.
Yeah. Not just scaling, but scalesing. As, yeah, I mean, this lane is going to look like this, right? They're going to get stacks, Skuma's going to attack them, get souls, Viper's going to attack them, get...
Yeah, so that's not good. That is, if Faker gets another very early back forced, in a matchup...
The charm, he has to flash. Would have died if he didn't flash. And already, Zeka is winning this lane once again.
He hasn't even brought out the eye drops yet. This is not even his final form!
That's true. Zeka hasn't needed the eye drops yet, as far as we can tell.
Those only come out for like game 4. And there will be no game 4 in this series.
Yeah.
Just take, okay, Zeka, come on, I'm trying to...
It's why Hamlar is such a... Oh, another charm. Nice punch by Faker, but again, it's basically just trying to stay alive. Like, he's not winning.
Yeah.
He's just, okay, I'm not dead. Like, but I'm still falling behind on CS.
Mark is on the southern part of the rift. Should be hard to
Mark's not in
get.
this game, actually. He plays for DNF. But it's a good point. There was a Pyoshik on the bottom side of the rift, which Peanut did deny. And Owner's looking for the dive in the top lane. Chronicler's very angry with me. Double knock-up as T1 just jump into it. Thorin takes double turret shots. The TP takes about 8 years, so they're okay.
Yeah.
But that was one of the messiest dives I've seen in a while.
I don't know about that TP, but it does mean that Zeus stays alive. I really do think that with that outplay, he would have been fine. And the wave is going to be lost. It looks like I think Peanut is able to pick up most of it, so that's something at least, not going fully by the wayside. Does mean that Faker now builds an experience lead over Zeka. So Zeka...
Like almost a hard freeze. So it's going to force a TP out of Zeus, who...
I think it's Ornn. I think he's okay.
I think he's okay. Okay, he's going to flash.
Yeah, so he tried to predict it, because obviously with the W you can prevent it, and then he was just like, yeah, no, I don't need to flash. Which was correct. He does. He did need to. Is he just still... I was about to say... Well, I don't know if Guma hits the
He's a
W.
tank and a warlock. You can't stop him.
Yeah, maybe if he got a kill earlier there. You know, he got the kill top and then he TPs and he's like, I have 15 ruby crystals. You can't kill me.
It's a lot of crystals.
A lot of crystals. No flash on Faker!
Okay, nice Justice Punch. Not much that Delight can do. And that is going to be Zeka down his flash. But he's Ari, so I still like making the play, you know, chunking out Faker, trying to extend your lead in the mid lane. Especially against a Galio who's supposed to be pretty safe into this lane. But not in this game.
Still waiting. But there's no flash anymore. Zeka, not that close to level 6. Delight doesn't have Hex Flash either. I think they're trying again.
I mean, with Ignite and Flash, like, if Delight hits him into a wall, then yeah, he's dead. Speaking of which, Faker walks up, and the exact thing that I just said comes to life. As for some reason, Faker just didn't think it was possible. But as we knew, it was very possible. And that is going to be first blood given over to Zeka.
I'm vexed. And I know Vex isn't in this game, but I am still vexed, Valdez.
Good job getting ahead of that.
Yeah, oh, no, I knew that joke was coming. That was definitely imminent. This is one of those plays where if you have flash, you cannot play that, right? Like there's an angle where you flash and the Poppy ends up just dying. So then I would be like, okay, if you try to play for that, it doesn't work, that's fine. But you didn't have flash! It was right in front of you! And you literally give him the angle!
It's just not respecting the Poppy.
나이스 잘 봤다잉. 역시 완중이.
Good roam.
잘하네.
That's Delight. You're pretty good.
He is.
Gotta gas up the teammates, you know.
Did we just...
Even though Zeka didn't show a lot of emotion,
Oh.
it's fine. Peanut is going to be in a lot of trouble here. As he does not have flash anymore. Trying to give this kill over to Doran maybe, but one more Winds of War and he does go down. Okay, trying to go untargetable once again as in goes Faker, and finally they take him down. Owner picks up the mark. As it looks like that's what they wanted by the end of it all.
Is that worth it? Like, I know we got the mark. You'll get to 2 marks now because it always picks up. But they got Dragon. And, like, you have to invest a TP in 2 flashes?
Probably not worth it.
I mean, I guess it's fine, but I don't think you're excited about it. You know, it's one of those deals that's good, but you're not immediately you're gonna go like, okay, I gotta put that in my basket right now.
One of the most mediocre trade deals of all time.
As a stack check, Guma, as he should, gonna be relatively behind. I've heard like different opinions of what is a good breakpoint for.
What is the ratio?
So what I
we're
heard,
expecting?
like anywhere upwards of 60 is good at around 20, because obviously you're gonna get less souls. We have more items, so kind of offsets what we used to go for, which was with the fasting Senna, where if you don't have like 120 souls at 25 minutes, you're just a pleb. You know, that's just no good. Zeka is just getting further ahead in this middle lane.
He also has a Dark Seal.
This was a counter pick, Valdez.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we talked about in the draft. Like, there were a lot of Faker's big picks just denied. Like, no Talia, Yone, Victor, Azir, and Ari was taken away. So, went to the Galio, and now he is the lane that is farthest behind. Definitely not the best feeling for Faker in this one. Viper is living his best life. You know, Aguma's moving around. He's like trying to help on objectives and stuff. Viper's
not
like,
interacting.
You know what I do? I attack the minions, and I use my skills on the enemies, and then I back, and then I do it again. I'll see you at 225.
When he becomes a real champion. Yeah, no, Humble Life, they have a slight gold lead. I can assure you, I know there's a Sen on the enemy team. I know it's a Kindred on the enemy team. Humble Life will be very happy to play to late with this composition. Funnily enough, you could argue that when it comes to the range, the fact that if you get enough marks on Kindred, mostly the Senna, is going to reach a point where she's a big issue. I also do think that ever since they did all the rounds of nerfs to Smolder, Senna is one of the few champions where your healing can actually be really annoying for him to deal with his burn, and you can kind of negate some of the value there. At the same time, I don't think we've had versions of Senna in the past. Like, remember when her heals killed with lethality, where you could really... That was a thing. Yeah. They removed that, I think, on the most recent set of changes to her. Not the one that changed the souls, but before that, I mean the soul change. We've had, what, like 15
Which
million?
one?
It always happens, and then she becomes meta, and then at some point they're like, okay,
We've had enough Senna. Let's.
And then
goodbye.
Just turn the knob,
Yeah.
go down this, and then she's gone. This goes away again.
And then inevitably they're like, you know what? We haven't seen Senna
I
in a
haven't seen her
while.
in a while.
Maybe she needs
So
a buff.
I do like that this is 80 Senna, because I feel like that has a different flavor than Fasting Senna. The downside is that Fasting Senna creates way more fun, because the supports can be anything.
True.
All right,
You've
I thought you
seen
said
also-
Cho.
That is one of the options.
Yeah.
Seen Rumble,
He's like
Kong,
halfway there.
he's in,
That's good.
all sorts of fun stuff.
Now the Drake fight in about a minute with the early Drake. I think you're perfectly happy as Humble Life to not take it. So the big break points, as you highlighted, for Viper it's stacks, you want to get to 225, and for Zeus it's levels. Once you start giving out your ornaments to level 13, you get your own, and starting level 14, you can give them to other people. That's kind of when the Ornn goes from just being pretty good to being such a insanely deceptively gold skewing champion, where every upgrade is what, it's like around 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
So it snowballs very quickly.
The numbers are pretty ridiculous.
They really are. And now you can also just pick whichever item you like.
I forget which item it is, but I was watching the game with Ox on the space, and some item was giving like just straight up 700 health. Like,
That's insane.
it's like, oh, just one item giving that much. Oh, this seems very strong.
And it must not have been Warmox, because then you would have remembered. Yeah.
Might have been like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, come on.
He
So
did it.
satisfying.
That's the game.
That's-
Viper's always been one of our best Smolder stackers. If you remember, I think he had the record for fastest stacks, which was like 1745 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was never the mid smolders, because you have only a single champion that you can reliably hit. Now the Drake, Humble Life cannot fight for this, but they also have Nefiri and Ari, so knowing them, might be looking towards it. Zeka's nowhere near though, and Faker obviously will not have prio, but he does have his ultimate, as Zeka is just on his way.
Just
What?
walking.
Yeah, I thought that
The Faker gets there first, I think, with his ult.
it's pretty close. Zeka can also use the first instance of his ult. I think they're going to arrive around the same time. If Humble Life played a little slow.
Well, there's the equalizer. It's a good one, but the Poppy ult is even better as they go all in onto one target. Down goes Owner, and the smite goes the way of Peanut, and now this is really rough times for the side of T1 as in goes Peanut, but there's no damage follow-up, and Zeka still on the chase. He's going to hit the charm again, as there you go. Another kill goes over to Zeka, and already the snowball is beginning for Humble Life Esports.
They have Ornn and Smolder! They have Ornn and Smolder!
Ornn and Smolder. Don't forget the bridge,
All right.
the Ari Nefiri.
Again, yeah, and the real bridge there was Poppy. The one thing that you can't have happen, and we've seen it with 2 Kindreds in a row now. You can't be the first to die.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And Owner, it's understandable because he really wants to try and play for a steal, which I get. There's also the fact that Zeka is indeed earlier here. And
so quickly.
Carrier gets knocked away as he uses his ult. And then Delight. Oh my god, man. Like the fact he removes their main initiation. He then ensures that they also kill the one target that can stall until Galio gets there.
Yeah.
And because imagine this scenario. Carrier, like, either flashes or doesn't get hit by the ultimate. Then he gets to create space. They do get on top of Owner, but Owner, because of Carrier stalling, gets to use his ult. Then Faker comes in, Guma lays an ult on top. It might be okay. Instead, the game is not over. But after seeing how last game went, plus the fact that Humble Life's team fighting has just been so much better, plus the fact that they have I can't state, they have Ornn and Smolder.
Ornn and Smolder.
There are champions where, because I still think, again, the T1 comp skills just fine. There are great parts of scaling there. I just don't see it comparatively to what's across the Rift.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the angles.
I don't want to accept it, Valdez, because I don't want to live with reality. Oh.
We need to see more Poppy. And Storn is going to flash out of this one. He
Yeah,
should
how
be
was
okay.
that an R5 pick, by the way?
I don't know. It was just totally ignored. We wanted to see, you and I wanted to see it in game 1.
We have 4 players on the Rift that can single-handedly win games with Poppy. Because I've seen all 4 of them do it!
All 4 of them can do it, yeah.
Both junglers, both supports.
And it's just ignored until the very end when it was amazing. Into T1's comp, they're like, huh, what's the best? Oh yeah, Poppy. Huh, she deserves more respect.
Okay, T1, Doran TPing in, level 11, does have the equalizer, level 2. Poke is good here.
Yeah, I mean, they're zoning them away.
Nice.
Doesn't really look like Kamor is set up for contesting this very well. So that is going to be the Rift Herald going over to T1. It is an Ornn getting some free time at the bottom lane. Just importantly, going to get those levels we keep talking about.
One of my biggest pet peeves with Ornn is when they do exactly that. When they're like, oh, he's a tank, we got to just wait. At least let him hit level 14. Then he can start grouping. You know, like, give a buff to whoever's your most fed member. In this case, probably Zeka. You know, really try and use that spike that he's on. Smolder will be big anyway. You can give it to him later on. But you need to hit those breakpoints, because if you start grouping now, it's fine if you win the fights, but lose a single fight and then you have zero pressure at any point. And now, instead, we're looking at a world where Zeus just has a pretty sizable gold lead on Ornn. And that's not really, like, that's not delaning. That's just Life's team play. It's also Inferno, which we haven't talked about yet. That would solve a lot, really, that, now that I think about it, would solve a lot of T1's issues.
Yeah, but they don't have the power yet to fight over these objectives. Like, the Ahri's way too strong. The setup for Life is so fantastic. Like, T1 kind of have to be set up on the objective and not get Poppy ulted away somehow. Then they have to find access to the Smolder. I don't see it from this stage of the game. I really don't.
Trying to find an angle here, Veldes. I know that the bridge, you know, Peanut Zeka, bridge, that's a strong bridge. I don't know enough about... I don't know enough about engineering to really make any comments as to what type of bridge it is. I don't know what the best bridge is. If only.
From that game that Faker used to play on Steam, probably the one with a lot of triangles.
It's always triangles.
It's always triangles.
It's always triangles in engineering. Did you ever do that experiment where you need to, like, build a bridge? Yeah, that's a classic.
Well, it was like a tower.
Yeah,
so you had to, like, hold the weight.
Yeah, stand on top of it. Yeah, that's fun.
Well, I wouldn't stand on it, but...
Trying.
Maybe standards in the US not quite as...
Well, you can
not quite as high.
It's fine.
Carry looking for an angle here on a Zek. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
You have the Herald.
He's getting some good positioning.
Zeka and Delight playing very respectful here, going to take down the Rift. Carry out, they can get in on someone. Peanut, that's in the theory though.
Yeah, it's not a real target now. The TP's behind them. Zeus, he is an Ornn. I don't really think they can kill him, but a double knockup comes in. He flashes out of the Galio. They're still showing a lot of respect to our Life. Not going full on in. If that were B&K, they're diving into that jungle.
Oh, they're just giving it up.
Yeah, they're just going to give out the Drake. They set up on it, but it didn't look good afterwards, and they used their Galio ults.
They used 2 ultimates.
The Alistar ult, and they just
think
leave.
Without Galio, they would try. No shot you try without the Alistar ult.
Yeah. Stellates still has his.
So that's sole point for Ornn and Smolder. 18 minutes. I just keep repeating myself, but nothing else is happening.
Are we gonna get the return of Doomer Chronicler?
No,
it's such a rare skin.
That was dark times. we're not going back to that.
It was today.
We're not going back to that.
It happened earlier.
Veldes, I am a different man now.
He's
changed. I've changed. I've given up that
He's come
life.
to terms with everything. Yeah, that's fair. We'll take a look at the CS numbers. 280 carries are doing well. 2 mid laners doing well. Just everything you'd expect, really. I mean, the CS differences aren't real.
This isn't what I was promised
in this game.
Veldes, I was
the first 15 minutes of game 1, though, that was good.
They were that was bad.
Where it was like, oh, T1 are getting some lane leads. They need this. It's going to be like a close mid game, and then Life took out their giant red hammer and bopped them over the head. Well, I guess it's more of an orange.
It would be like an orange squishy hammer. It has to be Peanut, right? Peanut,
it's like a tank plushie that squeaks when you squeeze it.
It's Peanut or Delight, the one that wields the giant cartoon hammer.
Yeah.
Because it's not Viper. Viper's Viper's too no nonsense. he's the straight man. You know, in the
it's a lot more finesse.
Where there's one guy that's just normal, that's Viper.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is kind of...
He keeps it all together, you know?
He keeps it all together.
We can't have 5 zany characters in the show.
He is the audience stand-in.
Yeah.
Zeus, you only see, like, I know. Every other, like, 5 episodes, because he's just off on his own adventures. He's the crazy
Zeus
uncle.
is Kramer from Seinfeld.
No, Zeus just shows up
What's going on, guys?
at some point, and he's like, what up?
Yeah, exactly. Shows up at the weirdest times,
For T1,
says the craziest things.
I need this to not be a tragedy. I need this to be a free gamer. The gold is fine.
I mean, it's, yeah.
So the craziest thing to me is there is still a world where if they can get on top of Viper at the beginning of a fight and blow him up, where it's playable.
With Alistair?
Well, and Poppy and Ornn, I know, that's not... I'm grasping at straws here, fellas, but give me this. Give me something.
I feel like we should have seen this coming. I mean, we knew... We saw the draft and we were like...
It's just a single mistake. Just one in that blue box. Okay, it's not the in
I feel like the second the Poppy was locked,
well,
I was kind of like, all right, well...
Well, my main
Thought it was a
issue is-
6-gamer, but...
Once again, there are teams that I would expect to not have the discipline to play this out and give openings like the one we're talking about. But outside of Hanwha, the only other team that's more disciplined, I'd argue the world is Gen G. I don't think any other team, when it comes to playing out games for positions like this, is quite as slow and steady.
Yeah,
Oh my god, he's going in!
The charm is going to miss, but it doesn't matter. He's so tanky. He's Ari. Look at his door. He's just dead. It's just a one-on-one solo bolo from Zeka. And
It's
yeah,
cooked.
Faker,
It's
you
cooked. I'm
can't
no-
flash with the taunt anymore.
No.
Oh, not Doomer Chronicler.
It's done. It's done. Oh.
Okay, he's just unlocking Hex Flash. He doesn't have Hex Flash. He is going to knock away.
It's not done. We're
that's
so
Poppy
back.
ultimate down. But guess what, guys? There's no objective outside of the Otacon. Now they're going to engage, though, on to Peanut.
Yeah!
He's dead. P1 looking for the objective. Zeka still here.
No Doomer Chronicler, baby. Let's go. They got Otacon.
We might have a little series.
They're getting big backs. They are coming back and fighting for that soul point. Don't look at smolder stacks.
No, not important.
Don't do it.
Not important.
Faker, stop giving him more stacks.
It's okay. He stopped him at 224.
It wouldn't have mattered, right? Like, he's going to hit it. I know. We're playing it up.
It's okay, Doomer Chronicler. We'll make it through this together.
He's not real.
They're just going for the mid turret, and Carry is not. Yeah, he's not going to do anything about that. No Demolish proc. Yes, Demolish proc. They will get it. And yeah, we just go back to sitting back and waiting. Some nice picks from T1. Nice pick here from Zeka too. Starts off with the charm.
It's a level up. Gets the electrocute proc. Full Foxfire. And then Doran lashes when charm wasn't going to hit. I don't know, nothing to say. Just got straight up outplayed, right? Too far up the lane, gets taken down. The Peanut, no idea what he was doing. They have a little bit of
I have a
vision.
theory. I can press W.
Yeah. Gets taken down, and that means the Otacon goes over to T1. Now 2 items done for Guma, 2 items done for Owner. No second item for Doran yet, though. That would have been really big, and yep, there it is.
It begins. So 15 petals.
Oh, Zeus also level 14.
Trying to collapse here on a Faker, it looks like, who is just going to run into the river. Looks like he is okay. And they just want to set up position here on this Dragon, of course. HLE Esports looking for that Infernal Soul.
Viper just wants to queue people.
He's trying his best.
Oh my god. Well, Guma can heal it at least, but more of that poke hits, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Zeus not really able to make his way in. Equalizer now going to do a little bit of damage. More of a zoning equalizer than anything else.
A little bit.
Yeah, Zeus did walk back over it. Faker in a rough spot, but he will be okay. In goes Zeka, though. Gonna get the charm here on the Owner. Nice amount of poke from them. Even the Smolder helping out of that. And now they just turn on the Guma and Doran, who are left out to dry by the team as everybody else was running away. And that's gonna be that early pick. Charm not gonna hit fear from Zeka, but you know what is really gonna hit hard? Orange Smolder with Infernal Soul at 25 minutes into the game.
I'm done coping. No more cope.
Doomer Chronicler's back.
This game is done. Owner doesn't even have his 4th mark yet. That's the 3rd one on that scuttle.
Oh.
As the equalizer, yeah, Zeus, you know, he walks over it a little bit, but he doesn't really take damage. Faker tries to go in and then carry our Hex Flashes forward, which means Doran and Guma, the door's just wide open.
Insta turn from Hanwha was so slick.
Immediately, the moment they see that, they know that they can get on top of Doran, who doesn't have his flash. And that solo kill, entirely Doran's fault. That right there, yeah, I'm a Doomer. It's done.
Doomer Chronicler, no! I thought
It's over.
I thought I'd never see
There's
the day.
no way Hanwha Life don't win this game. Absolutely zero. Curses aren't real.
Curses aren't real.
Can't do it.
Batman isn't real.
If Hanwha Life lose this game, I will believe in curses.
Wow.
I swear,
Chronicler.
if Hanwha Life somehow lose
You're a
this,
changed man today. I don't know what to
I
say.
will believe.
That's crazy. We're getting a little engaged here. Owner very, very low. And he ult in from Peanut as Doran's so low. Get a nice ult away. As Zeus, though, is pretty deep. Delight as well, getting chunked out. But the damage from Zeka and Viper is just so gigantic. And even Zeus is still here. Gonna get the Naga, but it's a little bit too deep. Look at the health bars of T1. That's all Viper and Zeka just chunking them down. The
Oh.
Infernal Soul's not making it easier.
Owner, fourth mark. I can't help it. Still drink though.
All right, he's got smite. Okay,
He's got this. He's
Fourth
got
mark.
this. It's fine.
Question is, does he die?
It's work.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
It's fine.
All right.
So, bit of a messy fight.
It's just it's only messy because Hanwha Life are so deep in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, they didn't need to do this. Delight also goes in on carry out. Obviously, isn't too bothered by this whole thing. And the equalizer actually ends up doing a lot of damage. Faker arrives just in time. Keep his back line up. And then Viper isn't doing that much for a large part of this fight just because of the positioning. The riding needs to be a little bit more respectful. So they're missing their biggest damage source. 1 or 2 more Qs could have really been the demise there for the T1 members. And again, Infernal Soul Veldas, it's just so hard to play into.
And we might get an Elder Flip here while Hanwha Life have, well, I call it an Elder Flip. It might just be Hanwha Life securing it because they have Infernal. They have 3 Ornn items.
You know, the gold's still even, and Elder is on the map in 3.5 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, but as you mentioned before, the gold's number might be even, but the Ornn items plus
it's not
Infernal
close.
Soul value is,
Well,
I mean, might be like 5-6K ahead.
Yeah, once Zeka gets his...
Little flank.
Oh, little flank.
Little flankaroo. They didn't go in on that. Guma's alone, and the flank. Who's flanking who? What is this?
Is that Pool Bay?
I guess so. Except it's Faker, actually. He's might just die to Peanut alone, who is ulting in onto Galio. And yeah, he's just kind of playing with his food at this point. Guma left out to dry. And it's just Hanwha, like, they're just waiting, baiting them into these rough spots. And T1 trying to find an angle, but they just cannot.
Viper has, I'm pretty sure, had sums this entire game. I don't think they've been forced.
Maybe he used them aggressively.
Maybe like very early on.
Yeah.
Well, might do that here.
Well, Charm's going to miss, but Carrier's not in the fight anymore. Still going to try to get in there. He doesn't have a
Owner, you got to get this.
Yeah, Equalizer comes down. Owner knocked away. And now they can just smite it down. Easy peasy. There it goes as, yeah. That's a Baron now over to the side of Hanwha Life Esports. They get it for free. Only expending, you know, the flash of Delight and his ult. Very much worth.
So he doesn't have Hack's Flash, so that's actually a win. As we take another look, attempted flank setup here just doesn't quite work because Guma, the flanker, gets flanked because Peanut comes out of nowhere, gets on top of Senna. Yeah, there's nothing you can do as Senna in that instance. The moment that Peanut gets on top of you, really get close to you, you just die. And then here, this is again the power of Infernal Soul. You don't even take down Carrier, but it doesn't matter. He's out of the fight. Then the Equalizer assumes that they're gonna like leave or be behind Baron. Neither is true because there's not enough threat from the rest of the team.
Yeah.
I've already, you know, put in my vote, as you do.
You put in your vote like 20 minutes ago.
I did, yeah.
Chronicler was a doomer before he made it public. I'm just gonna say that. At least for this series.
It's
not in general.
It's 320 stacks on small.
Yeah.
Not when I put that.
I'm not gonna label you as a general doomer. just for this game, this series.
I don't know.
Which, I mean,
There's still a chance. I want to believe.
For me, it was when Poppy got
Because
locked in.
if I end up being wrong, you know, and curses are real, It means it's a slightly more magical world.
It's an opportunity for growth, I'd say. Faker trying to hit the taunt flash, but that doesn't work anymore on many patches ago, many years ago. So, yeah.
Elder in 20 seconds. No ults outside of the Equalizer invested. Equalizer will be up relatively soon. Home Alive not getting that much value out of this Baron power play. It's legit playable. If Owner gets the Smite Steal, and they are then able to keep everyone up with Guma's healing and the shielding from both Faker and the healing from Owner. Don't forget, T1 still have Otacon, so if they can get a kill, it can snowball quickly. They do not have a lot of pedals because they didn't get a lot of kills since the Otacon, but we can dream. There are two wolves inside me, Veldis, and they're fighting each other!
Yeah.
Come on, T1.
All right, well, they're on vision.
Look at the poke.
The damage already coming in onto this Elder. TP is going to be pretty straight up. He'll go down onto Doran. Zeka's got an angle, but he's spotted. And it's getting lower and lower. Bomb will be called, and in goes Zeka. Gonna hit the charm on that back line, and Doran's almost already dead. As Owner throws in the ult, we got the Galio over the top. Delight might be in some trouble, but Owner's already dead. As the jungler goes down for T1, and they don't have a fight afterwards. In goes the Nefiri. Peanut just hunting them down like the Nefiri you would expect. And it was over a long time ago, but Hama Life gonna put the nail in that coffin and take down this Elder Drake.
No wave deep enough, turret still standing. So the odds of an actual end right now, not really there. As are we just, we're stalling it for, I kind of like
waiting.
that. Yeah. Waiting as long as you want to. As the attempt from Zeka doesn't work, but he's still able to ult out and flash. And then the health bars on Doran and Owner are just already gone. When the fight begins, and Viper is just not even remotely friendly. And any fight where Viper is just living and fine, it's just nothing you can do. There you go, there's the aggressive flash!
Yeah. Well, there's the Elder.
I think he was waiting for the light, and obviously also you got, which I feel like a lot of
reset
teams,
timing, you know.
well, a lot of teams don't do enough either, where you maximize value from this buff when you can actually use it.
Yeah.
It's by just getting it ASAP and then like, this might be what, like 20
Everybody
seconds?
backs and they're fine, they run back to lane, and yeah, 20, 30 seconds.
They just lose out on.
Yeah. Peanut's just farming his wolves after getting it, which maybe he needs a little bit of extra money.
GA's done, Valdez.
Yeah. So, either way, GA is done for Viper. Death Stance finished for Peanut. As now they're going to use all of this gold, plus the Infernal and the Elder Drake, and all the Ornn items. He's got it on everybody at this point, including Delight. Has that upgraded locket. I think that was the item we were looking at that had like 700 health.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh. It's way too much. And Faker going for the desperation flank. He'll be able to live, it looks like, but again, living at this point, not feeling too great. Maybe he was like trying to get the wave or something, because they don't have Baron, right? So it's pretty desperate either way. And the flank, or not the flank, the push, the siege is still happening here. And the Ornn Horn will be called just to force it underneath the turret. They're going to find Owner as the turn comes in, and he's not going to die because of his ult, but now he's going to die. Just a little bit after the fact. Hamalay Esports will be taking down this inhibitor turret and the inhibitor, and we'll be looking for the 2-0 here tonight in relatively simple fashion. Delight going to find another angle reminiscent of that level 4 gank that he got mid lane onto Faker, which really started the snowball in this game. They don't quite have a wave, but they've got some little wolves to help out here, and it's just a done deal at this point. Got 10 seconds on Keria, who won't be able to clear out the wave, so there you have it. 34 minutes, and Hubba Life will take down T1 in 2-0 fashion. Not much to see here in the series, to be honest. We thought it was going to be closer. We thought it was going to be epic, but instead Hanwha are just proving that they are the better team.